Hello, this is Dr. Scott Kilberg, the Video Foot Doc, here with another video for you on all things foot and ankle. Another question I'm often asked is whether tight shoes, specifically tight women's dress shoes, cause hammer toes to form. Now, hammer toes are a very common foot deformity in which the toes, instead of lying straight, will begin to contract upward like this, with the tips of the toes still sticking downward towards the shoe and the top knuckle of the toe rubbing against the top of the shoe. Oftentimes corns will form on top of this joint where the shoe rubs against the skin and causes the skin to thicken up as a result. And this can cause quite a bit of pain. It's often assumed that when one wears a tight dress shoe or some tight shoe that kind of squeezes into the toe, that the assumption is that the toes themselves have contracted or been pushed up as a result of that because of the toe crowding into the shoe. Well, actually, this is simply not true. One's toes and one's foot in general haven't really been moldable from a very young age, when the bones of the feet were mostly cartilage with a little bit of bone or bone material inside there. So the toes themselves aren't exactly going to be molded into a specific position because you wear a tight shoe. The true reason behind hammer toes is because of one's foot structure, which is genetically determined by their parents. People who have hammer toes either have them because they have feet that are too flat, in which certain muscles, particularly the ones on the bottom of the foot that cause the toes to contract downward, tend to overpower the muscles on the top of the foot, which cause them to extend, or the toes to extend upward. When this occurs, the toes will become out of balance or out of alignment as a result of the way the body has to adapt to a flattened foot. Now, on the other hand, people with high arches also get this very same condition for a slightly different reason, in that the muscles that are on the top of the foot and leg itself are compensated for, and the contraction occurs that way. So one can see that the actual deformity of the toe, or the hammer toe deformity itself, is not caused because one's crowded into a shoe, but rather because of the foot structure, which occurs over a long period of time, and this deformity gradually takes shape as a result of one simply walking with either too low of an arch or too high of an arch. Well, I hope you'd enjoyed this video. Please look for more video on all things foot and ankle on this site as well as others, or you may check out my website at www.inpodiatrygroup.com. Thank you.